Martin Wolf is Chief Economics Commentator at the Financial Times. Good to see you, sir.
Lovely to see you,
Thank
Richard.
you for joining us.
Pleasure.
This trade battle that, I mean, I use the word erupted today, but, you know, on the one hand, you've got Donald Trump signing tariffs, then you've got Trudeau and Modi saying global trade. What do you make of it?
Well, it really follows from the clash we saw a year ago when we had the inaugural speech, which was protectionist, and Xi Jinping was here speaking about globalization. What it looks like to me is that the US is in a minority of one in this issue, which is very extraordinary. And countries that used to be very protectionist, really protectionist, like India and China, was totally closed 40 years ago, are on the other side. I think actually the US could turn out to be quite irrelevant. The world trading system is bigger than the US, we're going to find.
And the evidence for that, of course, is that the 11 other TPP minus, as it used to be called, TPP minus the US, they've gone ahead and done the deal.
Yes, I think that's quite extraordinary. I think that if you look at Europe as well, you look at the TPP 11, which includes Japan, a very important ally of the United States. You think of what the Indians and the Chinese are saying, it doesn't seem to me that anyone's following the US. And though it's a very big trading partner, it's not the only part of world trade. So I wonder whether the Americans will start sort of feeling they're on the sidelines. Then, so what is he going to say when he comes?
But maybe he doesn't care that, because he has got, you know, a $16-17 trillion economy. It is the place where all companies want to do business. We've just heard from Gary Cohn that the president, when he's here, will be meeting European CEOs who have investments in the US.
Of course, the US is a very important economy. It's growing. The tax cut is certainly good for companies. People aren't going to ignore it. And it is important to stress the trade measures he's taken are very small. These are very significant indicators. They're sort of ways of placating the base, but they're not going to change anything. And most serious analysts regard them as pretty silly. You might say his bite has been actually, in the end, much smaller, much less bad than his bark.
Okay, so when he comes here, he's got a choice, doesn't he? He either says, you know, I want to play nice, but it's got to be better trade terms, or he says it's my way and this is the way it's going to be, in the way he said after the Jerusalem vote at the United Nations.
It'll be fascinating to see what he says. I think what he should say is, America's back, America matters, I've made it matter, but I'm completely happy to do deals with you as long as you accept that they must be also in our interest. A lot of it has been unfair. Now it has to be fair. But I think he will be sensible if he doesn't, as it were, declare war on the world.
Finally, you, as one of the great economic commentators of our time, you know and can tell us about the dangers of protectionism. If the US even starts the scintilla of protectionism, the snowball can start rolling down.
I think actually it could be like Reagan's period. We forget this. The early Reagan period was very protectionist, remarkably so. But in the end, it didn't matter. As long as they continue to do these targeted small measures, it's an irritant, it's borderline legal, I think the world can survive that. The question is, will he slap a great big 35% tariff on the whole of China's trade? That's something completely different.
We're told, come and join me at the fracture wall.
Okay.
We're told that we are in a fractured world.
Yes.
This is not fractured at all.
Right.
This is extremely fractured. Where would you put your cross and which direction would you go?
Well, I think we are at the moment about here, and we're definitely going in that direction.
Thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure.